the lodgers tax meeting here. I guess we gotta do a roll call real quick. Roll call and
Ms. Cheryl McCleary. Mr. John Hauser,
here.
Mr. Joey Garcia,
He's out.
Ms. Latasha Padilla,
Here.
and Mr. Jatin Bhakta.
We've got him as resigned as of 6/9
Okay.
And Mr. Ron Jackson.
here.
Okay, scheduled business minutes of previous meeting. Anyone have any questions on it? I think I'm good with it, so I can put a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Okay, financial report for the lodgers tax fund.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And you have, two reports in your packet. The first report, the one with the yellow and blue on it, that is the report that goes to the, state. And the second page of that report was not included in the packet, unfortunately, but anywho. The important information on here is, and this was updated through June 15th. Is the lodgers tax proceeds for the year. We brought in 127,188.41. Investment income $6.19 for total revenues of 127,194.60. And then the rest of this is how we're breaking it out into promotional and non-promotional. And for when we're breaking it out, I've just put 50% into non-promotional, 50% into promotional. We can always move from non-promotional into promotional, but not the other way. The other form is, it's the requested budget. And so this is I put in some numbers for next year. I did reduce the beginning cash is 100,000. I reduced the estimated revenues, to 106,000, just because I've seen some weakness in collections recently, and the American Classic Economy Inn, they've closed as a hotel. They're moving to a long-term stay, and so I hadn't had a chance to go through and see what that would do to our total. So I reduced it a little bit just to make sure that we'd have enough.
Okay.
And so then for the non-promotional, I estimate we'll have about a little bit over 103,000 available for non-promotional allocations, and about 103,000 for promotional allocations.
Okay.
And then underneath that is I put all the requests that we received.
Okay. You got any questions, Bill?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Yeah, I'll second it. Okay, we can get going with our funding requests here. So first up is the College Days Rodeo. Wherever you'd like to.
Go to the podium, please.
All right. Well, Albert couldn't be here with you today. He's in Gallup recruiting students for rodeo. I'm Charles Bennett. I help Albert sometimes when he needs somebody to fill in for him while he's gone, but the lodgers tax would be used to pay for the ambulance that we're required to have, the porta potties that we have to bring in because so many people, and for advertising. This is the 57th year of our College Days Rodeo. In your report that Albert's already turned in, there's 16 schools, but one has just joined in, which is San Angelo or Angelo State. They're adding a rodeo team this year. And with them coming in, we're expecting somewhere between 640 and 650 student athletes here for those 3 days. Albert gave me some numbers that they think this is over $600,000 economic impact. And I've had several people tell me it's the biggest single event that happens in Portales each year. We live stream, and Albert was pretty conservative on that. He told you somewhere around 9,000, but at 10 o'clock on the final night of the rodeo last year, we'd had 13,997 views. I don't know what else you need to know other than you need to come to the rodeo, and I'll be glad to try to answer any questions you'd have.
I'm-
Hopefully we keep the methamphetamine out of the hotel this year.
Thanks, good, thanks, Charles.
All right. Thank you.
All right, next, we got, ENMU with Brian.
Hello, I'm Brian Hahn and I'm representing Eastern New Mexico University in our request for funding this year. And in the proposal that you have, we have included 4 initiatives for our funding. The first one being sponsorship of the isotopes season, as well as a sod poodle season in Amarillo, Texas. Our third request is for our Country Western concert in the spring. It's a community concert. And then a new event coming this fall that we're calling Rally on Main. Funding for the request would go for advertising. In our 2 live events, it would also include custodial services and security. Now, in our request, we initially asked for, let me get my numbers out here really quick. 58,500. We do have an adjusted figure, and that would be 55,500. The cost of one of the events was reduced by 3,000.
The
So
billboards,
the billboards.
yeah,
excuse
we
me.
also have the billboards on there.
And we have the billboards on I-40, excuse me.
12,000 for the billboards.
Yeah, on our allocations, the isotope sponsorship and the Amarillo's, that one is 24,000 and the Amarillo sod poodles is 12. And these are interesting in that they get the community's name, its logo out there on all of its digital marquees. And in really that effort to kind of promote Portales as being a family-friendly environment. You know, we keep saying this and we really mean this. I mean, the relationship with the university and the community is one that can't really be extracted. I mean, we need each other. And so knowing for our prospective students, our alumni that go out to these games and see the signage, see our names, I think it keeps our name in a positive, healthy manner, and does help recruitment. And of course, with our billboards along I-40, it's great advertisement for both the university and for the community. There's quite a few people that drive on that highway each and every day. They are prominent and you see them. And then of course, our 2 big live events, the concert and the rally on Main. I mean, that brings people directly into the community. You know, last year when we were at the concert, it was when I was there, it was really interesting to listen to people to talk about it because they really did make it an affair for the evening. You know, a lot of them talked about going to dinner ahead of time, or getting their hair done, buying an outfit. I mean, it was something really fun and exciting. So it brought people into the area and kind of stimulated, you know, the local economy for a moment, which is really important. And we're hoping the same thing for Rally on Main. This will be a nice opportunity. It's paired with our family weekend where our students, their parents come out and see their kids. And this will be a nice opportunity for them to engage in the community, taste our local cuisine, be entertained by our local artist, shop locally on the square. And again, another opportunity for to increase revenue. So any questions?
May I ask a question?
Yes.
For the concert, you requested $5,000 and you said some of that would be for custodial.
It's all gonna be custodial and police coverage. That was a mistake to say radio. So it'll all be the non-promotional usage.
Oh, okay, so the concert would all be non-promotional?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, sorry about that.
And the rally on, how much of that would be non-promotional?
We asked for 2,500, probably 1,500 of that.
Okay. Thank you.
And so on these, it advertises like on the billboards and stuff, it's gonna advertise for both events.
Are you talking about the sod poodles?
Separate.
The billboards on I-40.
So now that is just, it's one set design for the entire season, and that is just a community pride billboards. So when you're coming by, it's like, you know, part of our, the series where you see the shop, dine and stay. It's kind of part of that family when you're coming by and you see Portales' name and the university's name along the highway.
You already had one made up.
Yeah, we have a series there. They've been there for gosh, what, 3 or 4 years now? 5
Probably
years.
5 or 6 years.
So, and you
Nice
can't
work.
miss them when you drive by.
They're coming out of Klein's Corners, they say, what we've done is highlighted ordinary people, extraordinary success with famous alumni on there, like Miss New Mexico's on there. We have, Mike Boyd, who won a bronze medal. We have several others. And then the last billboard you see has Ralph on it. And it says, you know, Portales Shop Dine Stay 155 miles to Eastern.
Oh, I see. It's all the different things.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not linked together.
And there's 4 or 5 in a row,
Yeah.
4 or 5.
And they all tie back to the university and then the community that we're in.
I thought it was all
Yeah.
linked together with the concert and the rally.
Oh, no,
no, no.
There, it's a totally separate initiative, yes.
Yep.
Then the billboards, I just have a quick question on the ones that the isotopes and the sod poodles, is that on their screen board, or do we have permanent?
This is their digital marketing. So, which is, I tend to think it's more prominent. I mean, people are driven toward digital advertising. It's bright, it moves, and it changes out. It's not static.
At the soccer games up there now, since they have this. The Mexico United.
Yeah, New Mexico United. Yeah, it's the giant billboard that they just redid their whole billboard at the Isotopes, so we get,
Digital board.
yeah.
Okay, that's
No,
all I
good.
had. Thank you.
Alright.
Good job.
Thank you.
Right. We good? Okay, next one's Roosevelt County Fair.
Well, good morning. I think most of you know me. And I've been representing the Fair Board for a long time and been a part of the fair been on the board for over 20 years, so. We appreciate every bit that you help us every year. We had a wonderful year this last year. We had great weather, so hopefully we will again this year. We had of course, it always helps when we have Will there. He was one of our main entertainers, but he won't come every year for us. He likes to come every other. So this year we've got a pretty good lineup also of entertainment. We have a guy named Austin Van, who's from up near I think he's near Farmington area, kind of Mora, somewhere like in there maybe. And then we have Josh Ward on Saturday night, who's another big name. And then we're kind of working on trying to see if we can have a circus act that will be performing some throughout the fair and have like a guy on stilts walking around and doing some different things than what we've normally have had. But we, are the longest running fair in the whole state, and will be our 117th year. So we started last year. One thing, we had a half price night on Wednesday, and that really helped our gate during the middle of the weeks, kind of kicking it off and letting everybody see what we offered and what all was going to be there. So we're going to continue that again this year. And then we have the military day on Thursday. On Wednesday also, we started last year, we're doing a special needs day. And we've got a lot of help from that, where some of the special needs kids will be having pizzas that'll be donated. And we had a petting zoo, and we'll have a petting zoo again for them this year. And they will get to participate in some of the livestock shows later that day, and be given ribbons and a lot of different things to make their day a little special for them. And we brought back the cotton extravaganza last year, which is something that's has been a very big tradition of our fair that was kind of pushed aside, and we didn't have much interest in, and we really did last year. So we're hoping that that it'll just keep growing this year and be bigger. And so But I think you guys kind of see the numbers with are one of our main expenses, is security that we have. It's unreal that because we have to pay $40 an hour for all the sheriffs that we have out there. And then, of course, last year with that thing that happened at Columbus right before our fair made us had to kind of beef up and be a little extra precautionary, which I know the carnival told us thank you, and a lot of different people told us thank you for making sure that we kept everybody safe. And that's one of our big things that we always need help with. And then advertising, everything's costing more, and we're trying to keep that going so that people can find out what all's going on, which we do a lot on our Facebook page, hit a lot of that area also, besides the newspapers and flyers and radios. We do a lot of radios in Millshoe, Lovington, Hobbs, besides just Clovis area. So
That's my question about the radio, is you're
Mhm.
asking for 5,000. That's a heavy spend for radio, and I'm bringing that up. I mean, do you guys spend through?
that's
that
not
all
just
the-
all radio. That's also, we do a big ad in the usually the newspaper before we do a page ad. And then we also advertise in the Clovis Livestock Market paper also, that kind of is
You
put
got
out.
that, you got the ad in here for 500. I'm just asking on the radio. Like in years past, have you guys spent $5,000 on radio in 4 weeks? Because that's a very big spend for 4
Mhm.
weeks.
Yeah, I have where I've turned that in every year, the
Okay.
receipts on all of that. We do spend quite a bit. Each ad on the radio costs, it's like for, a little 10-second ad it's unreal what it is anymore. It's like $10 or $15, I think now.
Okay,
So we do, because we try to have a lot of ads
mhm,
right before the week that's on there
okay.
locally telling everybody. So, yeah.
I just wanted to check to make sure.
But that's probably 1,000 of that is on other stuff besides, because the newspaper ad, I think, is $850 is what it's been in the
Okay.
past.
You're asking for 500 on newspaper. That's why I was just asking here, so.
Yeah. And then the flyers that we put out is
Okay.
also in that
In that,
amount.
okay,
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Anything
right.
else? Mhm.
All right, I do have one.
Okay, yeah, sure. Ron.
How much does the county put in for sheriffs on
The
security?
county puts in 0.
They put in 0?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it used to be years ago when there was mounted, what was it, the mounted patrol?
Mhm.
They used to donate some time for us. Yeah, and that's no more. That's been gone, yeah. With the lease that we have to do for the facility, and then, yeah, it's all just rolls, is what it does.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. Okay, Carl, it's your
With
stage,
your own whole packet over here.
your stage, so.
Carl Terry with the Roosevelt County Chamber of Commerce. Do you need these in a particular order? I've got them in
Yeah,
the order I
billboard.
turned them in.
We got billboards first.
Okay, that's what I've got first on mine. Okay. The billboard is actually a cooperative venture with the Roosevelt County Community Development Corporation. And it came about, we'd done them and just weren't real happy with what we had as far as the billboard we had. And the chamber finally withdrew our request for that. And then Orlando Ortega, when he was our RCCDC, and we were trying to get the hotel open, request from the lodging industry was that we get back into some billboards, and whatever year that was, we did go back into it. And doing this, we end up having to get a good rate. We commit to a 3-year contract on these billboards, and so that's important to note that we are taking a risk there in doing that, and trusting that we will be backed up with lodger's tax. And if it gets to be something that we need to
Hey, Carl, just.
change,
correction, BTCO is a 1-year contract. That's not a 3-year lease. It's year to year with them. So just the one with Bolins,
Okay, I think I signed a 3-year.
yeah, it's 1 year.
Okay, all right. But anyway, the ones with sign man are that. We have 3 other billboards that are not involved in the contract. We've got the in-kind you see in there is a swap for membership with Mark Plummer and Margie from Veggie Shack for the billboard location in Melrose. We had redone a few years ago. And then we have one in Melrose, in Muleshoe. Did I say Melrose?
Yeah.
Melrose is one that is this swap out for membership in the chamber. And then the Muleshoe one, I think the city had worked a deal years ago, and we aren't paying anything on the Muleshoe one.
The city pays for the-
Do they pay for it? Okay. Okay. Well, that's never been melded into lodger's tax. Maybe you guys are filing that. I don't know. But anyway, so and then we have one near the American Inn that apparently is we found out a few years ago is the Chambers and RCCDC, and so it's we kind of purposed that especially to direct people towards the museums in town here that are on campus. So the request is for the 1369. That's a little less than what we asked for last year, because we kind of got it dialed in as to what that extra billboard that we added in Alamogordo was going to cost. When we applied, we had no idea. I think we had it up as high as 20, possibly 20,000. So that worked out pretty well. That is a smaller billboard that is not lighted, which is the difference between that and the sign man billboards here in town. They're twice as big, or they're not in town. They're on edges of town. So, the primary thought behind the billboard stuff that we do is that our lodging industry, which supports the lodger's tax revenue, is very much they depend on Highway 70 traffic, and we want to keep that, advertise on that corridor so that they know that Portales is a good option to stop overnight or for a day or two. And that's why that focus there, we are able to turn folks in Melrose and Muleshoe, keep them from going through to Clovis. That's the idea there, is that show them that cutoff spot there at those 2 locations and give them a choice to stay in Portales and shorten their route a little bit. So that is basically the cost this time include, of course, the cost of the billboard leases, $7,200, and the wraps. Several of those will need, and we kind of go through those and get them as they need to be replaced. We haven't, that they're recommended every 2 years, 2 to 3 years. We're going to have some that probably will have to go 3 years at this deal, but I think we can make that work. And then the 4,200 was wrap replacements on the various ones that we have out. Obviously, the Alamogordo one won't need it, but we do have the other 5 billboards that we'll probably try to do 3 of those. And then we have to pay the state a licensing fee on the Melrose one. Any questions on that one?
I do.
Mhm.
On the Alamogordo billboard, whenever you drive by that, why is it facing the wrong way? It goes like if you're driving to Alamogordo,
I-
in Alamogordo, it's facing like if you're going to Las Cruces when it should be.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah. I
That-
just went to the governor's conference over there in Las Cruces and I was like, oh my gosh, this billboard's facing the wrong way.
John, can you answer that
I
question?
thought it was a cross read going towards Ruidoso is what we had gotten.
No, it's not. You're correct. It's on the left-hand side of the road going.
Uh-huh.
We got the wrong side of the,
I thought it was a cross read heading our way.
Like once you pass the pistachio place, you see it right there on the right, on the left-hand side. Left-hand side.
why would the company even do that?
I don't know.
I mean, I had no way of knowing.
I thought it was a cross read heading towards us, so we'll have to talk to them.
Yeah.
When did we enter that,
January.
of just this year?
Yep.
Yeah.
And nobody's went down there,
It was
let's keep the sign.
Completed, yeah. I have not been that direction. So John, my directions back were that, to work with John, and so we had John negotiate the,
Yeah, I thought it was a cross read that was heading towards Dallas.
yeah, I get it, could be cross street, but I never,
It
probably, it may say which direction it faces, but, I mean, I don't understand why they would,
The cross read that.
they knew what our advertising objective was and why they would
Yeah,
use
we
that
were
billboard.
cross read, right? It was supposed to be by the ENMU billboard that we have there in Alamogordo heading towards Port Dallas. So I'll take a look at it with you, Carl.
Okay. I
So
will-
we can follow up.
We can follow up on that and see, you know, if that can't be corrected, I
It
hope,
should be. It should.
I hope, I was thinking that was a 3-year, but,
Nah, it's 1 year, but we should be able to fix it.
okay. Well, we'll work on getting that
And
corrected.
then on the rack replacement,
Mhm.
did we request for that last year as well?
We didn't, let's see, we did do, what did we do? We did the new one, obviously was melded into all that. I think we,
I'm
I
trying to
don't- I don't
if
think
there was
we-
a
I don't
request
think
for
we did
that
any-
one.
I don't think we did any new ones last year. I don't
So
believe
we
so.
still have that budget then? Like if it wasn't used?
The,
Well, the budget
Just rolls over.
resets every fiscal year.
yeah, we did not utilize all of that, but I don't believe we had any replacement last year. We were fairly new with the sign man sign ones, and pretty much everything was, but now through this year, they've started to look a little bit more faint, and we need to get on them. But I mean, I'm not gonna do it just to do it. I don't think that's prudent. If we can do something else. Anything else?
Do we, on the billboards, the ones that are fading out here on the highway, are those expired deals that the vendor has just left up out there? The ones that are right on the edge of town here?
There's one of those out there that is a Clovis sign, you know, and that
Yeah.
dropped out this past year.
Okay,
And you know, I can call them and ask them to take it down.
that was just fading. That was what it was.
I haven't looked at it recently, but yeah, it probably needs to by now because that's facing west and it probably gets a pretty healthy dose of sun. I would assume they would have gotten it down by now because
Mhm.
usually they'll put up this billboard for lease sort of thing. And that's fairly good location, so.
Okay, next one is Heritage Days.
Okay. And this is for the 2023 Heritage Days, which is July 14th and 15th. The request is for 8150. It's a little more than last year. One of the things we're adding into this request is for security. We are hoping that we will have a beer and wine tent set up that would be operated by Enchantment. Not sure where Megan's at with that request to the city, whether that'll happen, but we needed to put security into the budget for that, and I told Megan I would apply for lodger's tax to cover that, and so that we have done that. That's and we put a little in for inflation as far as you know what she's talking about. Everything's costing a little bit more. We've noticed in the past year. So the extra security was 1,000. We've got social media and local print media, as well as and we do the Clovis Livestock. That has been a very good regional print buy as far as we can tell, and the some of the local print outlying in the region, and then our radio stations. We do a fairly healthy buy on radio stations because it is a big event, and the radio market is fragmented, and you gotta put that to as good a use as you can, and we kind of go a little heavier with the ones we think do a little better, and still try to keep a foot in the door on the others. The other major thing that's happening different with Heritage Days this year is that we're moving we had requests to move the street dance downtown, and we are going to, that's Friday night, and we're going to be moving that downtown on Main Street, and that way we will be able to put folks into the establishments downtown, the watering holes in the restaurants. Yeah, I've had off and on luck with food vendors at the parking lot at Memorial Building, so I think this is a better solution on that end of it. And we certainly, one of the things is to get folks into those businesses while they're here. We do have, in particular with that dance, we have a great attendance from out of town because of class reunions, and so that's aligns very well with the needs of the lodger's tax, the way that's lined out. That's the basics of what we've got there. Been going on for 38 years, and we really appreciate the support. Couldn't be done without the support that we have from lodger's tax.
Hey, Carl, I had a couple questions. One, that's a heavy spend with Globe One Media. I think the regulations, and correct me if I'm wrong, ladies, we need to spend a certain percentage outside of our main market here. That's my concern. And then 1,500 on Facebook is a heavy spend. I don't know if you could spend that much.
Okay.
From my experience. So that's just my concerns here, that you're dropping 3,000 in the local market and on radio advertising, and
Global One has got the stations that reach out further than any. I can get their stations all the way to Littlefield, and so I do know that they're well outside that 60-mile range that we kind of hope for, and the others are just barely, and so that's why a little heavier with them. They also do record the spots that we use for everybody else, so that ends up having they're doing production of the spots.
Okay.
So that's one of the reasons we reward them a little better.
Are you spending a lot more on advertising compared to last year? It did go up a couple thousand.
Yeah. We've seen over this past year that we got and have gotten word that it was going to be even higher, and so that's why we've beefed it up. Hopefully it won't be that much, but I think what we're talking about is a prudent way of planning for it, budgeting for it.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. Okay, next one we got is the Peanut Festival.
Okay, October 21st and 22nd. One of the things of note this year for the Peanut Festival, which is a good thing. I wasn't so sure the first year it happened, but we have it aligning with homecoming weekend this year. And we did that a few years ago, and I was kind of going, oh, well, this doesn't just kill us. And it did exactly the opposite. Which is what we were hoping. It made the event even more well attended. And so that's happening again this year, and we think this will be an outstanding time to get folks familiar with Portales, and it'll give us a chance to get folks that maybe coming in for homecoming to spend a little more time in town. Give them one more thing that they've got to check off their list while they're here. And it is open on Sunday, so it works really well. And we had a good Sunday the year that we did that. This is we've also anticipated that we may end up spending more this year on the advertising. This is our 50th year for the event. The other thing we're doing is we have also outlined with Enchantment that we hope to do a beer and wine garden at this event, and this I think is an even better thing to use of a beer and wine garden is this event. It really aligns well with what we're doing out there. And so we end up I think with the crowd that we need to make that work well. So the county already has approved for fairground use, and so I'm surprised that Fair's not going to have a beer and wine garden. No, just kidding. Different crowd, but the media kind of breaks out a little bit the same, except we throw the TV into the mix with Peanut Festival. This is an even better event as far as the way it pulls in regionally. We regularly, from our door prize drawings and just the visiting with folks, we know that we are pulling people in from Amarillo, Lubbock, Roswell, Albuquerque, that come over just for that. Plus we have vendors from as far away as the Four Corners area that come, and the vendors alone help us, if not to fill the rooms that weekend. Between that and the other, we're very full with rooms that weekend. So again, we did allow for a little more in advertising this year. The other thing with the Beer and Wine Fest, we're going to need the security, and we also got that in setup contract. I also have people that help us to set up the booth situation, and I believe that should be the same type of use as security. So that is basically.
Who do you guys bring in to set up? Because there's so many volunteer groups at the university. I mean, that would be my question, is why have you reached out to Jody and asked if the Kappa Sigs are available, or Ray Cox?
We would not have a setup. The material, the stuff we use wouldn't last through volunteers. We know that from experience. We do utilize volunteers in the teardown, but we have to, it goes faster and very close.
Use for the setup.
Well, it's PVC setup and the they can bust that pipe really
Now,
easily.
what company do you use?
I've got two guys that have helped me for years. Lonnie Bannister has from Logan, and Jimmy Park.
And they charge you $2,000 to set up everything?
Yes.
Okay, my other question is, do you guys have TV already produced to run on these spots? Since you're asking TV,
Part of the KFD, the reason KFDA is higher is they produce the spots and have done that for us for years.
And then for the security on this one, is it more security than like what you were requesting for like Heritage?
It will be more hours.
More hours.
It will be more hours, and that's provided I can find somebody. As of yet, I have not found a security, somebody to do security for me. So I've got asked city about it for the, and we got another event coming. We're talking about it's even closer to the, and I've asked Brad at EMU, and his staff can't do it. He's looking for private. I didn't know if the sheriff's off. I haven't checked with them yet, but I've been turned down every time I've tried it in the past. But I could. I mean, that's probably what I'm going to do today is reach out to them, because I haven't heard back from Brad, and I've got to have something for.
Do you think
For
that's
fireworks.
the total cost of security, or does the vendor pay some towards security too?
No, that would be the total cost of the security. And if you're,
That would be something the vendor would also be responsible to pay.
well, I mean, if that happens, we could,
How much is it for them to get a booth
for
for vendors?
vendors, it varies on whether they register early and whatnot. So the craft vendors are either paying $75 or $100. $125 if they are late.
okay, next one is the Events and Visitor Center.
Okay. This is the contract that we've had in for as long as I've been here, that helps to provide for operating the visitor center. It provides for half salary for our events and promotions coordinator of visitor information center, and events coordinator is what the title is. And so that's a half salary there. That has gone up a little bit with the I think we increased it last year, and I think I've increased it a little bit this year because of the creep we've had with the minimum wage. This person's just barely above that minimum wage, and they can see the people working under them making nearly as much. So we have to keep that moving forward. The various things that have been rolled into this for like I say, for at least the 12 years that I've been here, are the phones and internet, the copier lease, the copier service contract, postage machine, events and visitor software, event liability insurance, and postage and supplies, which all go into operating the visitor center and events, putting on events, the stuff behind the scene that is required there that aren't necessarily in some of the other stuff. And that total is $33,651. This this is also to some degree, a partnership with our CCDC. I mean, they, originally the visitor center was, completed to provide, office space for some of these, entities, as well as have a very good, spot for, visitors to get information about the house.
Maybe one question actually. On the copier service and copier lease,
Mhm.
what are those exactly?
The copier,
Uh-huh.
the copier that's in there, that's used for, events. We do a lot of the stuff for, events off of that copier.
Is it located in your building?
Yes, sir.
Pay Wells Fargo for the lease?
That's what I'm
Yes,
confused.
yes. It's not,
You lease it from Wells Fargo?
well, that they are the leasing company for the folks at, the PTS, office. They use Wells Fargo as their leasing agent.
So both of those. Wells
So both
Fargo
of those are
PTS
copier.
For the same.
Yeah, one is for the contract for the copier, and the other is the lease for the copier.
It's like the maintenance agreement, so if it breaks, PTS can come in and fix it, and others for,
Correct.
okay, the lease.
And then that is based off of the number of copies you run.
Okay.
That cost.
All right.
The lease of the equipment's static.
Okay, the next one is the extended advertising programs.
Okay, this program provides items that advertise Portales at large. Not a particular event necessarily, although some of this could be used for events if need be. I believe this is fairly static as to what we have done in the past, with a slight increase maybe for some of what we're looking at. We don't always expend all this every year. We kind of have to estimate where we're going to be as far as brochures and whatnot. And this is the brochure that we put out that not the magazine. The magazine is we support that with ad revenue, so it's a totally separate deal. But this is the brochure that we have out in the various places around the state, and those are in need of new brochures this year, and we'll probably do those possibly in the first or second quarter. And that includes the printing and the design of those brochures. The other thing that we're throwing back in here that we got out of for a while, but we're going to move back towards that is getting an ad in the New Mexico True Adventure Guide, which is the state visitor guide. We had done a half page in that for years, and had been trying to supplement that with the tourism grant, and that tourism grant is just not working for. We were frustrated for about 3 different years and completely took a break on that magazine ad. So this is the cost for the actual full half page ad in the magazine. That would be a way of advertising Portales to anybody that's visiting New Mexico. So that's catching folks that might want to come here to for Balloon Fiesta, and then also come over to see our our museums, and just experience our wineries.
How
and
effective has that
different
been
things.
in the past?
I don't know exactly how you measure that, but we have had, I know that we had a lot of folks that would, because of the Windmill Museum, particularly when it was in Dalley's hands, they would learn about that through either this ad or the New Mexico Magazine, which they're run by the same group. And I know that and Blackwater Draw have kind of benefited from those kinds of buys. And so that's not too out of round with what we had paid previously. But it is from last year, we didn't have that in there. So that is, I'll take back what I said, that does bump that whole thing up quite a bit. The other thing is a rack card delivery for those brochures that go out to the visitor centers around the state, including the ones at the Port of Entry visitor centers. The other thing we got in there is banners to advertise events, and this has been in here traditionally, so I haven't moved it out into the different events, but the banners have been in there for a while, and I think that's pretty close to what we've traditionally had there. New to this is the visitor center radio that we have been doing, and we've been paying for that out of pocket. It's one of those things that I want to get aligned and make sure that all the spots are aligned with what we're need for the lodgers tax reimbursement, and get that program into this.
Well,
And
what would you guys be advertising for the visitor center radio that's outside of what you're currently
Where it's-
requesting for Peanut Festival and?
Okay,
other
this
activities?
is ongoing that is out there all the time. So it would advertise spots for the museums. It would advertise the location of the visitor center. It would advertise in general the different events that we have, the annual events that we have, and things like that. So that it and we've had different spots. Some of those spots now, I believe, are also talking a little more about the chamber instead of visitors. So it didn't exactly align, but some of them did. And I'm sitting here going, we really need to realign that and fix it where it's in lodgers tax. And our budget this past year is cratered as far as the chamber goes, and it'll go away if we don't get it. And those spots have been, so they run year round and every week. So it's been and they heavily discounted those spots over the years. So that is basically, we've found that we end up with ad buys for various reasons over the course of the year. We've had things like our in-house our in hotel ads, service sets those and other things like that pop up. I don't know if they've been doing that lately, but those kinds of things, I have that in the budget. Don't always use that much, but that is in there.
Okay, any questions?
Yes, on the banners, is every year it's always brand new? Are you talking about the banners that are hung
The
up?
street banners, yes.
Is any of them
And-
reusable from the previous year? or no?
They are reusable. That is what hanging those banners, and occasionally we have to reprint them. But most of that budget is for hanging those banners. But we also, And we hang a few of them ourselves. We put some on, we've been using the trailer downtown that's over on C and Second, that the Habitat. We've been hanging one there, and we hang one. We got a frame out by the peanut mill that we've been hanging one on, and then we have occasionally JP Stone Bank has allowed us to hang banners as well, depending on what we got and what we need.
So that's the cost just for hanging.
Yeah, it's banners that are promoting events, and that's a variety of different events, from the Christmas parade to the Heritage Days and Peanut Festival.
And then on the visitor center radio, is there different like levels you could go down to, or?
That is slightly more than what we're paying now. I just, because I'm gonna have to redo it, and I don't know what that's gonna cost as far as hadn't had them redone in a while, and they have been cutting me a really good deal, and so I don't know if we tinker with it, that deal may go away. I've been paying $108 a month.
Is there a way to track, like, if that helps bring people in, or like helps?
I don't know exactly how you would track that. I mean, I see it happening for people driving through that hear that and say, hey, they got a museum here, let's stop, and we're gonna have to get a room soon anyway, let's stop here and go see the Blackwater Draw Museum, because that might be interesting to me. So that's the kind of thing that we're hoping for. I don't know, I mean, you might be able to track that in your business easier than I can. I know occasionally we have people that wander into the visitor center that talk to us about that. But as far as mentioning the radio ad, not a lot of them have and I can't say that for sure. I don't see every visitor that comes, some of my staff are doing that as well, but we do track those walk-ins. So we are able to do that, in an overall way. So anyway.
All right. Next one, Portalis promotional items.
Okay. Okay. So the promotional items provide for things like our that our visitor center uses, like our visitor bags, the bright yellow bags that you have seen at events, and those go to newcomers, visitors. We end up sending those out if somebody is going to a conference. We'll send, if they stop by, and we'll send those out with them to and they have stuff with information about Portalis, as well as different promotional items. One of the promotional items that's in there is our ink pens and our lapel pins. I don't have the lapel pins listed this year. We usually only order those about every second or third year, and those are about $3,000 when we do order those. But those are a nice lapel pin that promote Portalis. The other thing that we do is peanuts and local products that if we are doing have a visiting dignitary, or we also use legislature, we'll put together Portalis specific type items to advertise there, as well as those peanuts go to a variety of different locations. They go out with our bags to our newcomers at the Air Force Base, and so any new person in town, any visitor, or any event that we have that has visitors at it, we have the peanuts available. The got just various, that's the local products. The design warehouse, we've used the the Privets, and used them for shirts and caps for events and different, and this has fallen in that category previously, and so I kept it in that category. We occasionally have had the need to do caps and shirts for other things, so it's really kind of hard to tell exactly till the planning gets done exactly what we're going to need there. And then and doing the peanuts, we have to use labels to put the Portales information and promote the Portales.com website on that label, and those are expensive, and we got money in there for that.
Any questions? And the only thing I'd say is, just because I buy a lot of promotion products, is take a look at 4imprint, because Vernon's off, I don't use Vernon very often, because they're usually way more expensive. So I know we got a local contact here from their national company though, so.
I kind of have to balance that between buying local, and I mean,
But
that's
she's not local.
part of
They're a national company.
part of what I I think lodger's tax is about, is that
Yeah.
we're
Vernon-
talking about
But Carl, Vernon is
making
not local.
Portales,
Vernon is not local, is what I'm saying. They're a
Okay.
national company. I know we have a local sales rep, but they're a national company, so
Okay.
you can look at a
Yeah.
national company if we need to save money, is all I was recommending.
and we've used that
So,
on things on occasion.
so just
When
because Vernon, I know
Cost
it's
was
more
the
expensive.
complete and only.
And then I would just say one other thing on, like, the labels, do you guys pay for that every year? Like, is that a year?
No, it depends on how,
much would it be? to
it depends on
invest in labels?
how many requests we get for peanuts. That,
Have y'all ever looked into that, like how much it would be to like purchase a label machine for y'all?
this is just stock labels that I have, our staff put those on by hand. And that's the way we're doing it.
They quill
Um,
prints the labels, yeah.
We had, for a while, we had a deal with Hampton Farms was running film for us, and then they said, no, we can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for a while, we had actual film that had that, and in fact, they at first they even designed the label. We had to pay for the label, but they designed, and they quit doing that, so.
Final one is the fireworks.
Okay. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it's. Fireworks.
Oh,
Yeah. it's
This
not
is-
fireworks.
this is for signage and security for the upcoming fireworks show. Signman signs and security, whatever I don't know, if you're listening to you, I don't know if that's enough. This is an overnight. I hadn't gone to the county yet, but I need to check and see if that is an option. Brad was gonna get me some options on private security firms, and I yet to hear from him on that, so I'm a little nervous.
I don't have any questions. I did want to I talked to our contact for the billboard. The billboard is right at the Highway 82 Cloudcroft cutoff, so that's where it is that it's on the left side as you head to that light, that right, you go down the Gordo or go left to Cloudcroft, so that's why they had given us that location. So everybody knows that's why it was there. So it's on the left-hand side, but it's right at.
So it works if they're going through Cloudcroft?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think that's the point we had for our lodging
is
industry.
the other side available?
Not right now. But it's a deal, the price on that billboard is compared to, is what you pay for like 2 months on. Other ones, so we can keep looking. That's it.
It's half side billboard that's unlike.
That's it.
That's it.
So we can, do we have to vote to go into closed section? session? Take a 5-minute bathroom break? and then-
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
For everyone who, did presentations, our clerk, she's out until Monday, so you'll be getting the allocation letters next week, hopefully by Wednesday next week.
All right. Okay, 5-minute break. All right. Okay, okay, so the first thing is always the city administrative, which, 4,566 B and E, I vote to approve that. Yeah, okay. College Days Rodeo, they don't ask for too much ever. I think that is good on everything they're asking for. If you guys concur on that over there, that there's nothing that we question. So I'd approve that one, full amount,
Agree.
Same as well.
okay? Roosevelt County Fair. The only question, I mean, that's a lot of advertising is my only question. And it just, I mean, they spend it, they do go out. That was my only concern when I looked at it. And I'm in advertising, that's why I know what things cost, so wherever that wire is.
It looks like on her promotion, it cut it off, like it didn't fill it all out on everything she's doing for the radio spots.
Yeah, I mean, she's going into Hobbs and places like that, so the 5,000, that, I just wanted to raise that to you guys, that's a lot of radio advertising, but. And that's why I raised that concern, but I mean, I'm good with everything else, it's up to you guys on the, if we give her the full amount on the radio, so I'm okay with everything else.
I'm doing good with doing 4,000.
My only question was about the security as well.
At 5,500,
I'm just not crazy about the city, the Dodgers tax paying security for a county event. That's kind of political, I guess, and probably not.
what have we done in the past? Have we done that?
In the past, we've had good security, and I have seen that there are copies of their invoices. And they're usually probably about 5,900, 6,000 total cost for security. They do use the sheriff's department. At least they have in the past. And so they're not asking for the full amount.
And what about advertising? Did they blow through that, you know?
Advertising, I'd have to go back and look, they usually don't spend all of that.
What do you think? 4,000 for
I
it?
say 4,000.
I'd say 4,000 for,
The whole,
Yeah.
the whole,
for the radio instead of radio spots. So instead of 12.5. So on the 5,500, for the 5,500 that they have for the Roosevelt County Fair, we'd give them 4,500 for advertising.
So 11,500.
Yeah, 11.5 total. Yeah,
Well, the advertising is 5,000, so you wanna give them 4,000?
4,000 for the radio spots. Yeah, they got
That's good. 500 for
the newspaper, so yeah, so they get 4,500. Okay. All right, ENMU, I already marked this up, guys, since this is kind of my area, I can give you kind of an update on what we're looking at. The billboards are 12,000, is what we came in and said. We don't need any advertising for the concert, that's all traded out, so it would be moved from move the 3,000 to the B&E, so that would be 5,000. And then we don't need any radio advertising for the rally on Main, because we'd use our local stuff that we're already paying for. So if we wanted to just go like 1,500 in B&E to help with like security and stuff like that, is all we'd be looking for. So if I went too fast, let me know. So it'd be
Yeah, that's what do you?
okay. So billboards 12,000, isotopes 24, sod poodles 12, concert move all of it over to B&E at 5,000, and the rally on Main take out the 1,500 there, and just would be 1,500 in B&E instead of 1,000.
Okay, so that'd be 6,500 B&E.
Yeah.
And 48,000.
Yeah, 48,000 in advertising.
Yes.
And we approved 47.5 last year. In advertising.
I'd be okay with 48.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay, we're good? All right,
You'll get it right, Mary.
We're going over it one more time, just to make sure.
Yeah, just.
so 12,000 billboard.
Yeah.
24 isotopes, 12 sod poodles is all the advertising. And then move the other ones to 5,000 concert at B and E and 1,500 rally on Main. Help with security. All right. Here's the fun. Okay, the Chamber of Commerce, the billboards.
Well,
I'll just-
Chair, can I
yeah.
ask a question on, item 2 and 3, can you guys make the motion so that we can record it in the minutes?
To approve, okay,
Yeah.
sorry, approve the Roosevelt County Fair at a total of 11,500.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, and then we're looking at how much total for ENMU would be 48 plus 6,500, so 54,500. So 54,500 approval to ENMU.
So move.
Second, okay, so we're good there. Okay, the Roosevelt County, okay, how do we want to go through this? Billboards first?
We do the fair.
Or-
Fair.
Okay,
Which one?
which one you want to do?
Roosevelt County Fair. We just need to get it.
Oh,
We
yeah,
don't-
did we approve the fair to
Yeah.
11,500? Yeah, we just did that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're good.
okay.
On the paper.
Okay. All right, the Chamber of Commerce, okay, billboard project, so. I think it's my personal opinion on this, I'm on the chamber board too, this is a good use of funds to advertise. I don't totally agree with how he continues to put stuff in Portales, and that's what we've talked about in the past on this. You know, it took me 6 months of working with him to get a billboard outside of Portales down in Alamogordo. And then we put it in, and I apologize for that. I thought it was a north facing billboard and we didn't look at it well enough. They were talking here, I heard him saying, oh, we should buy a billboard with, you know, Lexmark is a traditional one. That's like $1,000 a month. That's why I didn't push them towards that, or $800, $900 a month. There's no way they're gonna be able to afford it. So, I mean, I'm okay. We have the money to continue doing what they're doing with billboards. I don't have a lot of heartburn with it. It's up to you guys.
Well, my question was that we funded 22, 23, $15,000. And that was done in December. That was for last year.
Yes.
And now this is gonna be for this year.
Right.
And my question was on that one sign that we just said was out of town, just out by the hospital, that's so faded.
Yeah,
But we don't even own that one anymore.
That's-
No,
That's all
yeah.
signs.
yeah.
So where's the other one outside?
There's a one up by the water towers as you're coming in that says Portales on it. He's got another one by the Americans Best Inn there. That's the Portales one. There's another one out by the faded one, and then you got another one there. So that's 3 of them I know of.
It's excessively advertising in our own city,
Yeah.
and they could be moved somewhere else.
But the problem is, I'm just gonna, if I'm allowed to speak freely here, the problem is Carl doesn't want to do anything outside of the rinse, wash, repeat. And this is what I fight with them on constantly on the chamber board is, we have this beer garden, Jody Diaz is doing the whole thing.
Right.
You know, if Jody, and I pitched the idea, Carl's like, well, I don't think we can do that, and Jody's like, why not, we can do it. We have people that want to do it, and if she wasn't running it, it wouldn't be getting done. And that's the issue, I like Carl, he's a nice guy. Anything that's new does not get done, and that's my concern with this. Now, he's in a 3-year contract. You know, that's a concern, that's a concern is how many years, I don't think we got how many years he's in with Simon on this, so,
I don't know.
so.
On here, it says, when is it saying that it's since 2017? Since this occurred, but we don't know when he signed the 3-year lease.
I don't know on that, so, and I can tell you BTCO is year to year because I work with them every year to get it done, so. That's why I brought that up, but, I mean, the easiest thing to do is we have the money and to say, let's go ahead, but it hurts because he's doing the same stuff, and I have a lot more heartburn on some other stuff here.
Right. I mean, yeah, there's lots of questionable stuff in this, but maybe you could reduce it by half to say, hey, look, we want you to move monies outside of Portales to get people from outside to come visit.
If you remember last year, you reduced their initial allocation or didn't give them an allocation and asked them to come back with a reworked plan.
On the signs,
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know, I mean, I mean, literally, I had to sit there and banging my head against the wall for 6 months to get him to listen to me to say, hey, and I was trying to get him up on I-40 where they had billboards and he wouldn't do it. Said, oh, I don't like I-40.
Did I not hear her say that on the mule shoe sign that we pay for that mule shoe sign?
We
Is
pay
this
for
part of the wrap, though?
electricity and the.
Not the wrap.
The bond, but not the wrap.
Not the wrap, so this would include, I guess this amount would include that sign.
The wrap replacement, but the wrap's good on that one coming out of
Yeah.
Muleshoe.
Oh,
So I don't think we need to replace it. I mean, literally, he's not gonna have to replace any of the signs, I'm thinking this year. From what I'm seeing with the billboards. The wrap, I mean, we can cut the wrap replacement. Down and say, bring that to us next year and we'll approve it if we
Right.
wanted
On
to.
the 4,200.
Yeah, I would just take that out and say, Carl, just, they look good, leave them where they are. And save money there if you guys want.
I'm agreeable with that.
Okay. What do you think?
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Okay, so we take 4,200 off and just say leave them as they are and approve. What is that, 9,000?
9,490?
Yeah, 9,490, right. I have moved to approve 9,490 for the Roosevelt County Chamber billboards. Alright. Okay, Heritage Days is next.
Mayor.
Okay, are you guys okay with me leaving that stuff off or?
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
yeah,
But
Facebook, the issue I have here, and I'm gonna say this for all of them. Is I know Globe One is local, but we're spending too much money with them. That's the ads he's talking about for Heritage Day, July 1st through 15th, to spend $2,000. That is 1/3 of my budget for the university that I spend a year with Globe One. He'd be running ads every break to get $2,000 worth of advertising. I think that's just him giving money. I'd cut that in half to 1,000. On that, Facebook, $1,500 is way too much for 2 weeks. Well, Facebook is a good use,
Right.
but I spend $300 a week. If you're gonna hit, Portales Clovis plus 50 miles. And that'll hit everybody over the head with it. Plus, my biggest issue, and I'll let you guys know, is Carl does not know how to use social media.
Right.
And he doesn't have a person there that knows how to use it either. I've seen it. We all should be getting ads about events that are going on that say sponsored from the chamber. How many times have you seen one on Facebook?
Never.
I've never seen it because I don't think he knows how to do it right. I'd be in favor of giving him $600 for that.
Okay.
And then 1,000 and cutting that down. What do you guys think about the other uses here for Heritage Days? Because
I had everything good. I had wrote down to do the global media down to 1,200, Facebook down to 1,000 is what I had written down.
Right.
This does bring a lot of people
Yeah.
to town, for sure.
I think Facebook at 600 is where you need to be and tell him it's 300 a month, just because I don't see him using it.
Mhm.
Like he'll
Yeah,
get
we
the
can
money
do that.
and then he'll forget about it or something like that. And this is a week away. They gotta start advertising, so I don't even know, like, by the time we get approval. Yeah, so I would put 600 and 1,000 on it and cut it down to, whatever that is, sorry. On the-
1,000 for Globe One and.
Yeah, 600 for social media.
So take off 19. or-
Yeah. Take off 1,600, so that would be 60. What's 8,150 minus 1,600?
Sorry, we were talking about the security, the mayor asked about if the vendors helped out with the security, and he has 1,000 in here for possible various private security.
That's if he can get a beer garden, I think is what he was talking about for that.
6250.
Yeah, and that makes sense to me that the vendor pay part of that
Right.
security. I mean,
Yeah.
He's charging for the booze.
Hmm?
He's charging for the booze too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
It's the money.
that's gonna make a nice, that'll be a nice amount of money for that.
I guess we can leave it there and see if, if it comes to fruition.
Okay. You said
so
60.
for Heritage Days, we'd approve 6,550.
Yes.
I came up with 6250.
Oh, 6,250, sorry.
She's gonna check one more time.
900, okay, yeah, it's $1,900, yeah, that's right, 6,250, sorry. 6,250,
Yes. Yep.
yep, okay, I'd move to approve 6,250 for Heritage Days.
Awesome.
All right. Peanut Valley Festival. Is it? Always first page. Okay,
Knock down Facebook. then.
yeah, the 600. Globe One Media, take down to 1,000. He spends way too much locally, and that's my biggest complaint. I would say an automatic notes TV because I know that he says, oh, they can produce it. He doesn't, they don't. I've never seen a TV ad.
And who watches them anymore? Anyway?
Yeah.
Everybody streamlines everything.
Yeah, I would completely cut out,
All the TV.
all the
Yeah.
TV. The social Instagram, he doesn't understand. It's the same thing as Facebook.
It's
When I-
29 cents per viewer if he gets it. And he doesn't have but 300 viewers, so.
Well, I'm just like, Instagram is the same thing as Facebook. So when you
Right.
put an ad up on Facebook, it also runs on Instagram.
Oh,
So we give them $600 for a 2-week run on Facebook.
Should be. enough.
It'll be on Instagram as well. It automatically does it because Facebook owns Instagram. So I would take that out immediately as well. So,
The setup contract.
that was my question is, can we pay for that?
And we're not sure, but we're questioning it and which.
Yeah, I would question that because that's part of putting on your event.
Yeah. I mean, I don't ever put in lights and sound into the concert thing because that's my expense that I have to cover. This is the same thing, PVC piping put up, and
Well,
he's saying PVC piping. I'm like, dude, you talk to Jody Bailey, Captain Six will come out and put up your PVC piping for you.
and
that's
are
what
they,
they're there
are
for.
they bonded and insured too? I mean, that's something we always have to ask
Yeah,
if he's using something private.
and have we done this in the past? I don't think we've done this in the past. I'd kill it.
Okay.
I'd kill it. So we're gonna take out, so I'm running it through here, just you guys, so. We're gonna save 900 on Facebook. We're gonna save 1,500 on the radio. And we're gonna save 3,500 on the TV. 500 on Instagram and 2,000 on the various private firms, so. You're looking at. It's probably easier to just go through and add what we're gonna pay for.
She's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we leave the security in there at 1,500?
Yep. I think so. I think it's worth it for being a festival. Yeah,
Come up with 57.50.
that's what I see too.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
All right. 57.50. All right. Okay. So 57.50 is what we're going with. So 57.50, I'll move to approve that for Heritage Days or Peanut Festival. Peanut Festival, Peanut 57.50. Okay, the visitor center. I always ask you get, this is where I look at you guys and say, what can we pay for? Because I'll tell you what happens in the chamber meetings is he sits there and goes, our budget gets cut. And then he relies a lot on this money to help staff, to help pay for stuff, but I don't know what the rules are as far as. Because you guys said they changed a year ago and that's why you had to come back and present. I will say that the person there is valuable because that person helps out with a lot of the events, helps out, does a lot. So I think that's good. My question more than anything is like, okay, the copier lease, the telephone, that stuff. I mean, the way I justify it is saying he uses this to promote Portales. That's the use of this. It would take him I don't know if he could totally voice that, but that's the way, being on the chamber board, that's the way I see each of this. We have the money here to support it. It helps the chamber be able to promote Portales outside by being able to fund this. That's the way I look at it, but are we allowed to would be my question.
We don't see anything that says no, and on the salaries, his new person reaches out a lot more than. In prior years that I've dealt with, so that's a positive. But we haven't found anything that says no on any of the items on here. The only thing was various who he's going for supplies and expense. It would be nice to know who he's using. But I understand that you don't always have an option to do that.
Right.
I'm okay with this one.
Yeah, I'm okay with this one too, so. I move to approve 33,651 to the chamber, and we do this will make Carl extremely happy, so.
Oh,
I'm just letting you guys know that this is the one he always sweats about, so. All right, extended advertising programs for the chamber, okay, so, my comments on this,
I had global 1 to 15.
I just, do you guys hear it? I don't know what ads he's doing outside of the Peanut Valley Festival and I mean, his ads that he runs are Peanut Valley Festival. You hear the fair ads, but the fair board's buying that. Heritage Days. But what else is he running ads on? He's saying, well, I'm running stuff to promote museum. I listen to Globe One all the time. I never hear anything. He goes on there every 2 or 3 weeks with Doc and Kevin and talks about stuff, but
Right.
that was my concern about any radio advertising companies. I don't think he does it.
Mhm.
And
The
Globe,
events that are advertised does not bring people to stay in the hotels.
Yeah,
Peanut
and-
Valley Festival brings nobody, fair doesn't bring people.
and our advertising that we do as a university, homecoming, we're pushing that out to all our alumni, so that'll help bring Peanut Valley Festival. Family Weekend is our events, the football games, stuff like that. That's all, you know. Hey, they'll see the museums as part of Family Weekend. We advertise that. So I don't hear, oh, the radio ad, someone was driving through town and heard Blackwater Draw Museum. No, most of the time people are, there's a reason you guys are putting up speed traps all over, you know,
They
the
shoot for
campus.
those too.
So just,
Does he show
yeah.
you receipts of the, like, what he pays for it?
He says he pays for it out of his budget, is what he said.
Oh, this is the one that he
Yeah.
said is the first year he's requested
Yeah,
our
Yeah,
help with that one.
yeah.
yeah, I just don't think he does.
Well, I
That's
think if
for
it's
the
something
request.
that they want to continue doing, they can continue paying for it.
So,
He's asked for them in each request, so I mean, if you take it out of this one, you've given him a little bit in the other requests.
Correct.
yeah, the New Mexico True Adventure Guide, the magazine and online, he said that's a new request. I don't remember the last time we've done that. We just had a feature story in there. That's the only time. I've read that one. I know that one is stuff that they put out, the tourism guide. I just am not sold on as a marketing, and you guys can contradict me here, as a marketing person that advertises, magazines are really hard to get people's attention.
They're dated, like
Yeah.
newspaper.
And it's, I know it's the premier one, but like. I don't know, that's just, I just think that, hey, I'd rather see them put that, you know. The brochures that you put out at the hotels and the travel centers that advertise the windmills and the Blackwater Draw and stuff like that, I think it's gonna catch more eyes than than us dropping almost, you know, 7,500 on a magazine that we haven't run in the past.
Right.
And I really, you know,
What's the online part? Cause he has /online.
that's probably just the banner ads you get and stuff,
Oh,
so
gotcha.
there.
Cause
So,
I would be okay with, I think magazines and stuff is kind of an old thing.
Yeah.
We're more modern with technology nowadays that people don't really pick up a magazine as much.
I mean, I think,
as
you
they
know,
would.
online, now I'll tell you guys, like. I have access to the New Mexico True event portal.
Yep.
Where we put stuff up, that's where we should be that's free to do,
Yes.
but they don't take advantage of that, because if I don't post anything about what's going on at the university. I don't get, you know, there's nothing about Portales up there, we don't utilize that portal for free, so. And that's just an FYI, if someone from the city wanted to get on that too, we can do that to.
Yeah.
And
no,
in the
that'd be great.
magazine, do they have a full page or what? how
I have
is
no
it?
clue what size that is, but I know it's expensive, to get in
I
there
was gonna say maybe
per
we could cut it,
month.
they could do a half a page.
I don't think it'd be worth even putting into it, just because how many people are really gonna read it?
Yeah, they're gonna look online before they look at the magazine.
And I wonder if, is there an option to do just online
I'm sure there is,
banners?
I'm sure there is, we could,
I'd say take that out and then let him present that.
Re.
in the future, yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, it's not till, yeah. I'm sure
Till
he
fall
has
anyway.
time.
and,
So that's
you know,
the
the
free
Steinman
request.
Signs banners, I'm good with, that's $800 to put up. So every time you put that up, or to produce new banners, it's not cheap to put it up, so.
Yeah.
Or the street there, so, it's 800 for the banner, 200 a week. So is what I should say, I think is what it is, so,
Okay.
so. I'm
And then
okay
his
with that.
last line item. It doesn't give any clarification on what it's for. That's what it
Yeah.
is. I can't see us approving it because we don't know what we're.
I'll come out and say this straight up, he does not advertise very well. The brochures, he does good on, the magazine, the banners, I mean, like the fireworks show is up right now, I've seen it, so. But I'm not comfortable giving him free rein on, well, here's a budget, it's
Right.
like he just threw this in here to try to get more money,
Yeah, and
so. I'm okay with the brochures and the brochure design. The rack card delivery,
So I'd say take out New Mexico True, have him
yeah,
re-come back to that, take out the visitor center radio, and then take out various.
yes,
yeah,
I got 4,900.
Yeah.
Approved.
2,000.
Yep.
4,900,
that's what I
Okay.
have too. Yes.
that's what I have, yeah, 4,900, I approve that,
I'll second.
okay. Portalis promotional items. These are valuable, I think,
I'm okay with
yeah,
that.
I'm okay with everything, I think, I kind of told him, look around a little bit, but I'm okay.
Maybe that'll stick in his ear.
Yeah, but he'll go to, well, he just goes to.
And those do get used up.
Yeah,
Yeah, and like you said,
Yeah.
his biggest thing is just raising.
yeah,
It just, I'm not gonna look for.
Yeah.
anything, Put it back against what I've got.
yeah, it's he just calls Donna Levada up and goes, Donna, help, and boom, so, okay, I'm good, I'll
make a
approve that,
motion to approve.
I'll second that. Fireworks,
I'm good with the fireworks one as well.
well, that's my question, because we ran into this last year,
1 second, can we have a motion in a second on that?
I think we did,
I have a motion.
I seconded it,
John,
My apologies.
that's all right, no problem. That's all right, so the fireworks, are we okay to approve the fireworks, because last year you guys said no?
I think since it's advertisement and security,
So just to give you clarification on the security, the PD will help with that security at no cost. But they asked them to do it for 4 days and we don't have enough staff to do 4 days worth of, they want us to monitor the vendors fireworks before that.
Okay,
And I really think that should be on the vendor, not on the city.
so that should be a cost of chamber covers,
Or the vendor.
vendors,
For his own
but
security.
then he'll charge us back on it, that's the issue.
I'm okay.
The signs is an approved
Yeah.
expense, but the
Very-
security.
You know what, I'm okay with both, we
Okay.
cut up enough, and the security's B and E, and we got the money, so I put in a motion to approve
I'll
fireworks,
second that.
okay? All right, I've scribbled all over mine, so you guys do we have enough money is the question, so.
Yes, we should have enough money, especially with these cuts. And to get the final numbers on all these, I scribbled all of everything, that's why, we recorded it.
Okay.
so we Go back and get everything exactly,
Cool,
and we'll send out the allocation letters next week.
Yep.
awesome,
Okay.
And I would just say one thing on the printing, I don't think we need all the back one just for future.
I agree.
That way we save
I
on
think it
paper
just-
for the city,
yeah,
just all we really need
The
is.
allocation page? Is what I'm
Correct.
thinking?
yeah, this one right here,
Yeah.
that's all I was looking at,
I mean,
Okay,
I would
yeah.
say the first one.
Cause
Yeah.
we look at the rest.
yeah.
Up to this,
Okay,
and
good.
you email it out, so we already.
Yeah, so if you guys wanna just print like the first one, and then this one,
Okay.
future meetings,
Yeah,
we're
we don't
good.
get the tax.
Yeah, that way we're saving paper for free.
I know, I like that, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think it's double sided, but this year we did, I don't know.
So,
Yeah.
Are
Are we ready to-
my question is, are we gonna wanna? So I included everything this year in the Eastern proposal, so I'm not gonna have anything else to meet with you guys on. Now, I got a new president, so he might be like, hey, let's do this in the spring, so,
Okay.
but outside of that. Do we wanna schedule another meeting sometime in the fall to get together, just touch base on stuff, or?
That would be good.
Because that would help, I think, if we can, what is Clovis?
And then we'll get a couple new members.
Yeah, what does Clovis meet? Do they meet quarterly?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
it just depends on.
Even if it's just a, hey, let's
But
get
we-
together and check, but it's also an opportunity to. As long as the chamber's not coming back in every quarter, I think it's something to maybe put out there to say, hey, look at the money, and then if there's some other people that wanted to jump in here, so.
Okay.
So,
Once we get our, hopefully 2 more board members established, and I can try to set something up maybe October.
yeah, October, November,
Okay.
And
something
I
like
have
that.
someone from Logic that I would like to give,
Who is it?
Great.
Anna Hanson.
Is she at what, Best
She's,
Western?
the Holiday Inn Express, and she's also regional of this area as well.
Can you get her name?
Would you mind reaching out and seeing if she would,
She would,
oh, she would be.
I already did. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What was the next one?
Get her.
I think
And
Mary
Nancy.
will be really good, yeah. Yeah, I think she's so community involved right now. She hosts, like last night, she had the Greyhound Club event on there.
Okay, I'll talk
So,
to her.
Who are you
Yeah,
saying?
Mary Newell from
Mary
the
Newell.
courthouse.
What else got?
Yes, they do a lot for the community.
Our restaurant representative.
If she can't do it, she does.
Cheryl.
Yeah, or
No, you
Camille,
can't help Cheryl, she's missed the last couple too, but she's always been.
or Camille Mountjoy there at,
You want me to put that on the agenda?
I don't think
Tuesday for
usually
Miss
it's
Anna?
me, you and Joey.
Or do you want to talk to her first?
what?
Anna? No, let's go ahead and put her on there,
Okay.
if you're sure she wants to serve
Yes.
you.
Okay, then I'll add her for,
Say, hey, we talked
I'll add her
about
to the
it.
agenda,
Okay,
and he can officially, have her nominated in or appointed in on Tuesday.
perfect.
And I think, looking, we said, Courthouse Cafe with, or, do drop in
Yeah.
with Camille too, to see if one of those two ones. You know, the good one that would be honestly though,
Landis.
Landell. Yeah.
So I think Mayor's gonna call them today.
Yeah, if you call Landell or his mom, Peggy, they would be really good, because
That's good.
they're very
I would think
supportive.
yes on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got three good restaurant options.
Yeah. I forgot, we were thinking on the same page.
So we
there,
need to
so-
come out of a closed session and close it out, or do we?
I think you can just adjourn.
Okay, call for adjournment.